warm welcome to you all. I hope you're all okay. So we're going to have a look at an update on how far I've got really on the layout. I've done lots of other little bits and pieces as I've tinkered going round. I've gone from the backs behind the camera round to this side, and then my next phase is really to do some more work on here. Now I was struggling with this bit because in my mind I knew what it wanted to look like, but there was just elements that I wanted and it didn't quite fit because obviously I'm restricted with space and I don't want to fill the whole room up with model layouts. I just wanted a sort of small diorama really that I could run trains around, have it really to where I wanted, a taste of London, that kind of thing. And the plan was to pretty much get the station behind me, depot that side, and a bit of a running in the middle. I've got that, it's all good. So what I'm going to do is show you a little round where I've got so far, some of the tinkering that I've been up to round behind the camera, and obviously down this bit here. And then we're going to look at this area behind me where I'm going to redo something in that corner. No doubt I'll change it in time, but I've got an idea, a plan in my head what I want it to look like. So I'm going to stick with that and go with it and scenic all up, and you know, I've got some brickwork that I can add to it. So there's some plan work that I want to do, and I think it will set in quite well with that. And I think I'll do it, run it, play it, and then may tweak it slightly as I sort of go through the phase of the layout. But that will be the initial plan. Now, I originally had my my little station over there, my little parcel depot, and that was really something I wanted to incorporate that end of the layout to fit with the other layout. Not sure it's going to work there because what I'm going to do is going to move it to the station to be against the side of the station, which you would have seen at Paddington. You would have seen the parcel depot offload at the left or right side of the Paddington station, and then they would load it out on the train. The train went out along with passenger services along its way. So what I'm going to do is bring that down to this end, get my words right, and then I'm going to create more of a town scene on there, and then a bridge going across, because then I can add another bridge and I can add a roadway, a bit more traffic, because at the moment it's just trains and scenic, which is nice, but I think we need to bring back the human element, how we get around everything. So I need to add that kind of geography really. So me stop waffling, I'm going to get down to that corner there. We're going to have a look how we're going to build this and what we're doing. But first, we're going to have a quick update around the layout, see where we've got to. Okay, so we'll start off in the depot. As you can see, there's a nice little scene in the foreground there, and then bringing to the close attention to the camera here, we've got our little matey reading the Royal Mail box there. So I've added a little Royal Mail post box, and matey looking at when the next post times are, and that's sort of quite a nice little scene. The car there was actually donated to me by Tony Northeastern. We were joking about Bodie and Doyle jumping over the bonnet, something I think we need to recreate, but I like that, so I've put that car on the layout there. Would have needed a painted silver, as we both said, but anyway. I've made an aggregate road layout down here, and I've now dropped this down a good inch to give me a little bit more clearance and a little bit more of a rundown to the depot, because it was a bit fierce. So yeah, there was a ramp here at this side of the depot, and it changed to the other side many years ago. There was two, but there was a ramp on this side, and then you can see in the background I've got the wooden buildings, so you have like these shed things that are around from in the 60s, 67, I think around about 65 onwards, around there somewhere, and then they disappeared. I will add some flats behind the back there, sort of a very small flats. They'll look like they're in the distance, but for now I've just added these, and again I've just made these on my Cricut Maker. Looking into the distance over there, you can see we've got more sort of like scene going on with the engine and stuff. That was what I mentioned before my last video. I've created this now, I'm quite happy the way that's looking. Yeah, sort of nice little look really, and I've re-weathered the building at the back there. I think it was the parts department or wherever it was, I can't remember now, where they've done all the servicing of the locos. So that's now been re-weathered, a bit heavier, and I've painted the top window black and sort of like done some whitewash sort of grabbing it down a little bit, and that looks a lot better. So let's move on over to this way around. So I'm going to move the camera around slightly, so just bear with me a second. So we're just moving over to the this area here, which is the canteen that we spoke about many times, the canteen. Now I've actually added the rest of the concrete in here. I will add some more colour, and I've got to match this in a bit more, but it is concrete, and I've done just literally just PVA and just a very fine sprinkle, pretty much a push on and pull off in effect. I literally sprinkled it on, and when I had a little credit card, just scraped it all off, and it left me a very fine base, so there's hardly any on there, if I'm honest. And then I've just given a wash of some paint on the top and added some colour. This is actually foam board underneath there, the foam insulation, and then I've added some plaster cloth on top to get the definition of the aggregate, and then I painted it in like tan colours and creams to get that sort of look. It looks quite good. I'm very happy with that. So we've got obviously a depot scene going over there. I will replace that depot there. That will go. There will be a better depot, but again, that will be once I've got more of the layout where it's in situ, where it needs to be. Now you might notice over the back there, if I put my little white pointer right there in the corner, that's where the gasometer was, that little round tower there. That was the gasometer. I've decided to do away with the gasometer because there's one on the back wall. So the gasometer is gone. It looks really cool, but I just don't think the layout's big enough to house it. And there is some in the background. So what I'm actually going to do with that tank you see there, I'm actually going to paint it in a very grey colour as it was at Old Oak Common. So I'm just creating some stairs to go around it. That will go a grey colour, and that will live over in that corner, and then I can add the piping across to the depot, all the bits I need to do. So that's the plan on that. You'll notice that I've added some more buses in there. I've painted the other buses up, so there was the cream one and the green one. I've painted them up into like red, so that was a good fun project. So got too many buses, which is great, and that makes the little garage look quite filled, so that works really well. So looking from here, you can see we've got obviously our little station bit we've added. This was created from pretty much a look from the old layout, so that's the station, and then we've got the ballast work coming through here. Now ballasting this was a complete dog's leg, if I'm honest, because I ran out of ballast and I couldn't get any from anywhere like local shops or model shops, and then I ended up going to exhibitions to buy it, getting a mix and match kind of thing, which I wasn't happy with, and it's a lot heavier than the Woodland Scenic, so it's a compromise, and it's certainly not the best, but I've got this ballast stuff, which is cheaper, but it's just not as good. But I preferred the Woodland Scenic, if I'm honest, because it had a lighter weight to it, and it sort of glued a lot easier. So that's my sort of nemesis, but that's said and done. You can see it looks okay. I've come right through here with all the ballast that's all gone through there. It's good. So that brings me over to this corner over here, actually. So looking over in this corner here, you can see I've actually moved the warehouse from that corner to there. It was where pretty much a replication of the scene I had on the old layout. I had the warehouse there on the station and the canopy. It looked really cool. I liked it over there, but I think it would be better to have the parcel depot on the station and then create a whole depot scene down this end. That's what I want to do. Bring it closer, and that would give me what I want to do. That will give me more scope over here to put a little bridge and then create a town scene on the top, and then that will go across along there, so there'll be a whole town scene goes around there, and then I can bring a little bridge across here to the depot, and that will bring some of the traffic back into the layout, because there is nowhere for traffic to go at the moment. So that's another thing that I'm planning, and it will give me the opportunity to do another nice little bridge on that bit there, which I think it needs another bridge. It's shouting out, give me bridges, and there's not many real big structural bridges on it. So that's pretty much where I'm looking, and that's the reason for this change here. So today I'm going to make this town scene, get this in place. I'm going to add some more buildings over the back here, so I'm bringing you around here and add some more bits and pieces. There will be a canopy goes over here and all that in the future, but I won't be doing that today. That's said and done. I'm going to work on this area. So what we'll do, we'll crack on and get some of this work done and see how it looks. So this is from the old layout. This is the old office building. It's too good to throw away, so I will utilise this there. And the other office buildings, these ones I've made on the Cricut Maker. Had a bit of a spill on the spray paint there, but you won't actually see that because the canopy will hide that. So to save remaking it, I'm going to leave that as is, and it actually looks like part of the dirt, so not too bad. It's sort of an error. I'm not going to leave it as is, so that's not a problem. These are going to go across the back there. There's like 5 layers in these, again made on the Cricut machine. I will add some blinds and stuff in there. The back layer I can just pull off, and then I can add that in there. At the moment I'm just going to create the scene, get everything, get the aesthetic look. And I've seen these at Waterloo Station back in the sort of 70s, 80s. There were some office buildings very similar to this. So that's what I've sort of replicated. That's the idea anyway. So we'll see how it looks. It's all about getting just a look at this point, and that'd be good to do. Let's put them in. There we go, simple as that. And then this gives me this that I can pop at the edge in there. Okay, nothing's glued down, not gluing anything down at the moment, but I'm just sort of getting a whole look how it looks. Straight away, that just gives that bit of a pop in that sort of area. And there'll be a big canopy on the top of there and a lot more work, but I can't do any of that till I've done everything else. So we'll crack on as we are. You might just catch a glimpse, the underground is still there and still in functionality. It's a little shuttle system that traverses underneath the layout, so it's all working good. I need to add the lights to it, as I've said before, but I will do that all in time. There will be flashing lights like I did on the other layout, the Arcing effect that seems to be crazed by storm over the internet now. So I'm not saying I'm the one that invented it, but it's just nice to see everyone's doing the same effect. It's really cool. That is the underground train, and off she goes. How far she goes I don't know, but she's off. And you can see Baker Street is still in place, so it's a nice little I put some new lights in there. I've relamped it just to get a nice and more better effect, and then it's obviously on the shuttle where the train comes in and out. There's a few new characters on there. You can see I've put some more 3D printed figures on there, and obviously the underground train comes in. So yeah, it all is in place. Still, that will all stay there, and it will just run on its own little system, and it looks quite smart under there, if I'm honest. I do like the underground. I think the Baker Street was an iconic station that I did from the old layout, and it'd be a shame not to put it in. So it's nice to have that on the layout running when you've got everything else pretty much going to be running backwards and forwards. So that's the sort of look you'll get, and then obviously I can just play trains. I don't have to worry about the shuttle system. So yes, the underground's all in. That's all is good. Well, after a lot of sawing, lots of cutting, and bits I've put together, I've got this far, and I've got my bridge coming across, and obviously I've marked out my brickwork that will go around the back there. Now it's a case of ballasting, gluing everything down, repaint everything, and start adding stuff, and then obviously add the back seam. A final overlook how it's all gone. So I'm going to carry on, probably off camera, and then I'll bring you back to where I am. Too much to do, but I'll do it. So this is as far as I've got so far. I'm going to let a lot of that dry now because it's gluing. Got the town scene over the top there, and obviously I've got my little viaduct, or my little bridge bit, which is my road going over to this side. So that's a nice little link for the station. I've also got the little train underneath to come out, my little tunnel on my left there. You can just see it coming out. So that gives me a purpose for my DMU when it leaves the station. It just looked a bit weird that it just didn't go anywhere. So just tells the story a little bit more. And then it can come into there and shuttle back off to its next destination. And it's a nice little parking space to hide one of my trains as well. I've got about 8 DMUs I run, so I can do a shuttle service, keep 7 parked up, and then that gives me enough space to do a swap if I want to. So if I want to run 8 DMUs, I can do with that one little gap over the corner there. It gives me a lot of flexibility. So that's good. Gives me a timetable. And I have my Batman full-car set running around. Love this one, my favourites. Had this for quite a while. Off topic, I was lucky enough to go to Princess Risborough Society down near Tame, and I was lucky enough to climb all aboard the 3-car set they have down there. So nice to see it in the flesh and sit in the driver's seat, as you have to do. But yeah, well done guys, full credit to you, and lovely thing to still see. So this is the hobby I am so passionate about. I've been immersed in this since I was a kid, and this would not be possible. I would not be able to build all this or make this or be as absorbed into this hobby if it wasn't for the thousands of people out there that have demonstrated all their hints and tips, their scratch building, all the things that they've shared with myself and millions of other people. Thank you to all them, and I think this is a nice way to display them on the wall of their channels, so we can promote them for all the great work they do. And there is some premium channels out there, but I'm going to start off with 3 of my favourites that have been really inspirational. So I'm going to start this off with a very dear person that's very close to me, and that's Tony Northeastern. I've been following Tony for many years, and he has taught me so many things, and he's the master of scratch build, and I can't say the word master strong enough. So Tony Northeastern, please go and have a look and check out all the things he does. He's amazing what he does, and he's such a lovely guy. My second mention is Woodhill Park Model Railway. Now Graham, I have been following for many years. Again, a lovely guy. I see a lot of me in Graham. He's got a layout very much based around the same era that I have, British Rail era and that. So yeah, there's so many things that I see, and you know, he literally, I see a video and I'm like, I'm in the process of doing something, and he's just recently done another thing that I'm thinking of. So please go and check out Woodhill Park Model Railway, and definitely follow his journey. And there's a lot of tips that you can learn and probably work out why we change these things, because it answers all our questions, so that's good. Another very close friend of mine and doesn't live too far from me is actually Susanna. So check out Susanna's channel, Mildenhall District, and another great modeler, has taught me many things as well, and inspired me. Probably the one person that's made me buy a lot of trains. So, but in a really nice way. Yes, so please check out Susanna, another great modeler, literally with things that I wouldn't think about making, and there's certainly a lot of inspiration there, so definitely support them. So I'm going to leave that today for them three, and then on the next video I will promote some other modelers. So don't forget to subscribe, like and follow their journeys. Quite pleased with today, so I'm going to leave this here, and then I shall catch up probably on the next video and try and finish off some of the road bits, and then obviously more of the town scene stuff that I can now know where I'm going and work on. Obviously I've got to do some more work to the little bridge bit where the warehouse is. That's going to be a work in progress, so I can do a couple more little bridges, and that'll be a bit more iconic, give a bit more of a look, as opposed to just an open barren land, and that's what I didn't really want to I wanted to break that up. So that's said and done. I'm not going to put myself on camera, I'm going to leave that as is. I'm a bit tired, I've had a busy few weeks, so I'm going to say cheery bye, look after yourselves, and as we always say, happy modelling, be good, be happy, be healthy, and I'm sure I'll catch you very soon. It will be very soon, because I'm not going to leave next video so long. Till then, take care, and I'll see you very soon. Cheery bye.